and welcome to Sit and Knit for a Bit. I'm your host, Melissa, and welcome back to my yarn room. I know it has been a very, very long time. It's been over a month since my last, official episode podcast, and yeah, I'm really sorry about that. First off, you'll have to excuse me. I've been having some problems swallowing. I've been choking a lot in the last couple days, and I don't know why. And I just choked again about 5 minutes ago, and so my throat's like a little really irritated. So I'm gonna be clearing my throat and stuff and swallowing a lot. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying not to freak out about it. I'm stressed out that the medical condition I have may be contributing to it, but I'm trying not to jump ahead and to say it was one choking hazard on a pea and that has caused some inflammation, and so now I've been having more trouble. We're just gonna go with that. Anyway. So please excuse me. But if I don't get this done today, it's not gonna happen. So, once again, I apologize for being gone for such a long period of time. I would like to blame it on the holidays. I know a lot of people have crazy holidays, and people always talk about how crazy the holidays are, and actually my holidays are pretty easy. We have a small little family here in Texas. All our other relatives are in Wisconsin, and we don't really see them during this time. Just traveling is just, really hard. And, excuse me. And so it's usually just a nice quiet holiday. But it was other stuff. Of course, I was waiting a couple days anyway, or a couple weeks since the last one, just because there wasn't much to show you guys. And then when it came about time for me to podcast, I was actually really sick that week and became anemic and just was awful and not eating. And it was really bad. It was just really bad. No energy, nothing. And it actually took a while for me to come back from that, build up my strength again. I have to excuse all the animals like normal. But I had actually did an entire episode the week after I was sick, but I was still feeling so run down that I was angry in the podcast and really tired, and just was you could hear me yelling at my dogs. And I was like, you know what? This is not a good podcast. I don't want to put this on YouTube. No one needs to see this. I mean, I felt like poop. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. So I deleted it, and I am now finally re-recording, even though it's been probably another 2 weeks since then. But things have just been happening. Just crazy stuff. This weekend, this is actually the day after New Year's. My bosses give us that day off as well. So it's actually the last day of the holiday break. And with me having so much time off, you would think I would have gotten this done sooner. But life never goes the way you think it's going to go. I knew Christmas weekend was going to be a little bit more intense because I, had, Christmas with my relatives, and we went and drove around in my parents' golf cart and looked at Christmas lights the Friday before Christmas and yada, yada, yada. And then this weekend, I knew I had 4.5 days off. I was like, I really want to do something awesome. And I almost went camping, but I saw that the temperatures were just going to be too cold, and I was going to be miserable the entire time and not enjoying it and wanting to come home. And I didn't want to spend all that money and time and preparation and be miserable. So I decided to stay home. So instead, I ended up taking home a medical foster on Thursday and spent 2 days taking care of her. And her case was just too intense. And we ended up having to let her go, and I've been a little bit downhearted. Not, I didn't know her for very long, and it's not really that I miss her because, like I said, I didn't know her for very long, and I knew she was going to be a foster anyway. It was more of the loss of life, that she deserved much more of a life than anybody could give her, the poor thing. But I'm not here to talk about that, so I apologize. But I just wanted to put that out there, just like that's why it's just been kind of crazy. So let's talk knitting, and at the end I will do the okay. Done with the knitting, and I'll talk about other stuff, which I kind of already have. Sorry. Okay, I guess let me drink some more coffee. And the clouds are rolling in. It's supposed to rain later. I'm trying to get this done before it gets kind of dark. Actually, I forgot to turn the ceiling light on. Oops. So let's talk about the elephant in the room. My finished object. This is my 2023 Advent calendar I created for myself. There is another episode just talking about that. So I'll just kind of briefly go over it. I don't have the pattern project or paper with me, so you're going to have to watch that video. I thought I had everything. But essentially I created this myself for next year, but I decided to do it this year because I kind of did put the temperature blanket on hold, so I wasn't doing something every day anyway, which is why I wasn't planning on doing it this year. Plus school, I thought I would be a little busy with school, but the end of the semester was actually pretty simple. Excuse the dogs in the background. They're playing, like always. That'd be Olive. But anyway, so every day I had these little packets. Every day there was a ball of random yarn that I bought from somebody on Etsy. Fingering weights. There was a chocolate, a tea, and a part of a book. And then maybe some of them had a couple other little, stuff in there, little prizes. But here's the end result. It is apparently linen stitch. I did not know that, which I really like. But this is the finished. So for anybody that's actually watched the other video, here it is. And my tassels, I did not have to weave in any ends, which was the purpose. I absolutely love it. My wonderful cats, I think when it was blocking, they decided to, I've been kind of like pulling them through the back end. But the back end is pretty, and it ends up being a scarf, so you kind of see the back end anyway. But I love it. I've been wearing it like crazy. It is a little itchy. The yarn that came from that person, apparently she did not pick out like the nicest yarns. But it's fine. It's fine. It's just on the neck, and it's not that big of a deal, so it's fine. But my plan is to make another one for next year. Excuse me, I'm burping because I swallowed air while choking. Excuse me. Make another one next year. It'll probably be my actual scrap yarn for myself. By that point, I believe I'll have a little bit more, more to contribute to myself. That's why I ended up buying somebody else's, because I just didn't have enough. Either they're on the wait. Most of them are waiting for me to finish my metered square, my cozy memory blanket. Which I'm really hoping and planning on getting some work done on that this year. I haven't worked on it much. I think I worked on like a square. I don't even think I finished that square this year or last year, since, hey, it's 2024 now. So anyway, so a lot of them are just sitting in there, and I didn't want to take them away and then forget and not know which ones need to go back, to go onto that blanket. And so I just I'm not touching those. So what I want to do is, once I finish a square on that, to take a ball and add it to a canister or something for the Advent calendar next year, and then kind of just randomly grab one and throw it in the bag or whatever. So yeah, I ended up actually having extra yarn, so I guess technically I could use these for next year's. And I had bought this jar while antique with my mom like a couple months ago, and I've been like, I need to put yarn in there. So this gave me the perfect opportunity to do that. And so the little leftover, not all of them are in here, because a couple of the skeins or little pieces of yarn were really cute, so I made tiny little hanks, and I put them in some like glassware in my curio cabinet. And then I actually ran out of room. There's like 3 balls that are just sitting around. But it ended up being like the perfect opportunity to put them in here. So, and to fill this and know what to do with them. So, okay, so that was in this bag. I don't think there's probably chocolate. Yeah. Oh, I need to make a hank out of this one. There's a lot of this yarn. This was Christmas Day, and I really liked it. It actually ended up being a perfect color for Christmas Day. Part of me I don't know. Maybe I'll add it to, maybe I'll put it with my Cozy Memory blanket in just this one. It'll be enough. Will hopefully make me think of this project. I don't know. It'll be cute enough. That's what we'll do. Okay. That aside, can I clear some space here? Okay, now we're going to talk about the, what do you call it? Failed object. NFO. It's not gonna be hybrid. Frogged. It's gonna be frogged. It's not frogged yet because I've been waiting to podcast. And who wants to frog? Ugh. So I had decided to make myself some Christmas socks, which I try to do every year, except I didn't do it last year, and apparently I didn't do it this year. And it was Santa's Crew. Sorry, the lighting. I'm trying to tilt it so it doesn't glare. It's this really cute color work socks, and it was a paid for pattern, and it's lovely. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the pattern. There was a couple things about it that I didn't like personally, and so I think I've decided I don't really like color work. That's one thing. It's very fumbly. I can do it, but I don't enjoy it. It's almost like crocheting and sewing for me. And if I don't enjoy it, I'm not going to do it. Like, I could see myself like scrunching up and being bent over and just being angry, and I don't want that. Knitting's supposed to be fun. And so I don't think so that was one part of it. But I was willing to push through. The other part is I just know that this red is going to bleed like crazy when I go to wash these socks. And I was like, it's going to look horrible. It's just going to be awful. I don't know why I'm fixing this. I'm about to frog it. It's going to bleed like crazy. I just know it. And so, and then the last straw was, I was trying to do really nice long floats, not tight, loose floats. But I just know with my big foot, trying to get it in here, I'm going to catch toes on these floats. The floats are going to be too tight and I can't get my foot in. I already struggle with like factory made, store-bought socks that have like a print in them because of the floats from the factory. I guess I have really big feet. Well, I have big feet. I have wide feet because of running. Back when I was a runner, I actually flattened out my feet. I used to be just a 9 normal, and now I'm a 9.5 because I'm really a 9.25 wide. And I mean, I already had kind of big feet for a woman, not too. I mean, average big, I guess. And then I made it worse. So anyway, and I've seen where those patterns have actually imprinted in my skin. They're not comfortable because they don't stretch. And I just like, I know I'm not going to enjoy this. I'm not going to enjoy this. I mean, while wearing it wouldn't have been too bad because it's up on the ankle. But getting them on, I know I was going to struggle. Mostly, I think my toes are going to get caught on these floats because I had to make them nice and loose. But, so, fail. Luckily, I didn't buy any yarn for it, so it's okay. You know, oops. Okay. Oh, well. Let me drink some more coffee. And hopefully not choke. Would that be awful if I choked in front of you guys? Okay. I guess I'll show you what I've been working on. Once I finished, well, I started it while working on this, but really have hit it off since finishing this. I actually started it when I decided not to work on the socks, because that was supposed to be my wintry projects, were the little socks, and then this, or Christmassy holiday time, because now it's winter. So anyway, I have cast on a sweater, which, if you've been following me, you know I've been wanting to get into sweater making like crazy. And I should have everything to show you. The other video I didn't, and I was so mad at myself. But I'm trying to get untangled here. Okay. I cast on a sweater, and I'm almost done with the yoke. Like, I'm literally on the last row of the yoke, and then I'm gonna split for the sleeves. So of course it's all jumbled up at the bottom. I really wanted to get to where I split the seams last night, but my hands and wrists were starting to hurt, and I told myself, you can't, I have to stop there or I won't be able to knit at all today. So take a couple hours off, go to bed, start fresh in the morning. But here it is, and I'll show you the pattern and the yarn. I am doing the every other row. I am switching out the yarn, so I don't get any pooling. But yes, it's just a basic top-down raglan pattern. I have the pattern, and let me get the front page. I think it's just a simple raglan by Maker Maker. I know lots of people can remember that kind of stuff, and I cannot, and I don't even try. Because I just know I won't, and it's just useless information in my brain, and especially since I have the pattern right here. Try to keep it in order. Okay, it is a free pattern if I remember correctly. It is the Real Easy Raglan by Maker Maker, and so far not a problem. If you look, the ribbing, I am gonna tweak it to my liking. The ribbing on the bottom is fairly long, and I just don't like that. Everybody's different, so do you. I have no problem seeing it like on other people. I just, So I'm just gonna do I'm just gonna shorten it and not, I would say have a regular ribbing on the bottom. I also don't like if a yarn or if a sweater is too wide in the shoulder or the neck area and your bra strap shows, because I wear sports bras, and they already cut pretty close to my neck as it is compared to a regular bra, but they stay on. I don't ever have to scoot them back up. I have the opposite problem. But anyway, and I don't want those to show. In fact, I have a lot of trouble buying clothes and stuff like that, so I don't have that problem, but that's because of me. And so what I did, and I got the tip from another knitter. I think it was Selma with Little Big Knits. She knits a lot of sweaters, and I absolutely love her. I'm almost caught up with all her episodes. I think about half a year behind. I kind of stepped away a little bit from watching lots of knitting podcasts, and I watched 2 episodes of hers yesterday, so I kind of got back into it, and that's why I was like, oh, I need a podcast myself. So anyway, what I did was I started with a smaller size neckline. I went with the small, where I think I'm knitting the large or extra, probably the extra large or the extra large. And so I did the small neckline, and as soon as I got finished with the neckline ribbing, I increased like crazy that next row. Mostly because that ribbing will kind of hide all those increased weirdness, which was just kind of how it happened. And plus, I want this part to be a normal. I just wanted, so we'll see. I just wanted the neck to be tighter. And this one, the picture doesn't look bad on the neckline. That's one of the key things I look for when I'm knitting, when I'm looking for knitting sweater patterns, is the neckline, and then I do have a little bit of a belly. And I don't want to show that off, so I want something that's nice and loose down here. And I think I got it. We'll see. What else? I think that's... Oh, I don't know about the length of the sleeves. I'm kind of thinking some like short sleeves. I'm basing it off the sleeves off of how much yarn I have when I get to them. I really like 3/4 length sleeves. That way it's warm, but it's not in my way. I found that out. I don't like full length sleeves because I get hot easily, especially living in Texas, and so I end up scrunching them up anyway, especially when I'm knitting, because I don't want my knitting needles get caught in them. It's just, so I don't know if I'll have enough yarn for that, but that is the idea. Either short sleeve, I don't know, I'm kind of like, let's just go, I'll see. I'll at least do some kind of sleeve and then look at how much yarn I have left and see, you think you can make it? This is my big bag of yarn, and I don't understand, but since I'm doing the every other row, although I think one time I knit an extra row with one of the colors, but I have this much left, this top one, of one skein, ball, whatever, and then this much. How did this happen? They're supposed to be the same. I don't get it. I don't know. I think maybe, I'm trying to remember, I think maybe I did the ribbing in just one. I think that's what it is. I did the ribbing with just one ball, cake, whatever. And it's probably that same ball as the one that I did that extra row in, and it is that one ball that I'm doing the pattern, the project right now, and so, I think that's what the problem is. And it's not a problem. It's fine. It's just kind of like, what? I have a list here, and I'm just looking at, oh. It's a camping list. I always keep a little notepad. And I'm like, what is this? This is dog hair. I came in here to get, yes, what I forgot for the other video that I deleted because I was just an angry person. And just, well, not really angry, I just was so run down that I wasn't chipper and cheerful, and who wants to watch that? Right, so the yarn is Euphoria Knits. Sorry, I hope this is, I think there. The colorway is Flight. It is a DK Frenzy, 85% superwash merino and 15% nylon. 4-ply. I bought, these are 100 grams, so it's 246 yards, and I bought 4 of them. Hopefully it's enough. Like I said, I'll probably just do, I'm trying to tilt it so it doesn't reflect. Once again, I'm not wearing glasses, so I cannot see. It is a very nice, soft, bouncy yarn. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I cannot wait to wear this sweater. I think this is going to be the first sweater I'm going to enjoy wearing. I've knit a couple other sweaters, but they always end up being a little itchy, kind of like this scarf. And yeah, so, but during really cold times when I'm wearing the sweaters, I'll usually wear like a shirt, like a little tank top underneath, but I really want at least one sweater that is super cozy, and I think this is going to be the start of that. Oh, I forgot to show you. A good friend of mine gave me these needle point protectors, I think is what they're called. And they're bees. Which, if you know me, you know I love bees. So, I'm trying to get better at putting them on. I have the problem where I get done and I just grab this and put it back in its bag, and then these little bees are sitting on whatever countertop or table that I'm using. I'm like, oh crap, I forgot to put those on. So I'm getting better. It's just another little step. But yes, I'm on the last row before I literally have just this side right here to knit, and then I will split for the shoulders. And I'm thinking at the same time I'm gonna go ahead and put the little rope thingy on the torso, these things, and try it on, I think, before I continue on, make sure it fits. Oh, I actually did the correct thing and I blocked it. I have to remember this is the first time I've truly talked to you guys about this, so I have to tell you everything. I did block, or I did swatch. Sorry, I'm still burpy from choking and swallowing air. And the first time I swatched, I did like the extra large, or yeah, I think it's the extra large. I'm about a 45 bust, and so I go with whatever one that one is, and that usually ends up being just fine. Anyway, with the recommended needle, and I got really lazy, and I was worried about yardage, so I only did 2 inches instead of 4, which I'm sure is gonna cause issues. So I just said, well, you're supposed to have this many stitches in 4 inches, so I'm gonna do half of that for 2 inches, right? I mean, it makes sense. And I'm a pretty consistent knitter on my gauge and stuff, and so I figured it'd be fine for me. There are some purl bumps just to let me know what number of needles I use, which I believe is a 6. Yeah. And ended up being just a little bit looser than I wanted, mostly because I want to wear this sweater without having to wear something underneath it. And it ended up being bigger than I wanted, but at the same time, something was looser. I can't remember. And so I went on Facebook and I was like, help! And they said, why don't you go down a size on the knitting needle and then just block it aggressively. I got a tighter fit. It does fit just fine. I know I'll have to block it aggressively, so when I go to try this on today, hopefully, I know it's going to be a little bit tight by, it's okay. And then I didn't really like those bumps, those purls in the middle, which I guess if you're doing 4 inches, it wouldn't be that much of a difference, but they kind of got in the way of my counting. So I did the other trick where you put knots, the number of knots for what size. So this should be a 5. Yeah. To let me know. And these things are so soft and squishy. But yes, so I'm definitely hanging on to them. I made it where I didn't even tie off the end. I literally just put this here, which makes it loose, where all I have to do is pull this and it will kind of undo this one little knot, and then I can just unravel it. That's probably another reason. I know I only use one ball. I probably use the same ball for all of those. No wonder why it's a lot smaller. Because I made these and the entire neckline. Duh. But yes. So what a drastic difference, isn't it? All right. I think that is all it for that project. So that's been my main crazy project. Worked on it here and there while working on this, but this I kept up with it pretty well up until the week I was sick. I had a couple days where I couldn't get around to it. The dog hair, the cat hair, and I just couldn't, and so I got a couple days behind, but luckily the weekend was coming up, and so I got caught back up, so it wasn't too bad. I didn't get really super behind, but as soon as it was done, I got to really focus on this sweater. And I'm wanting to get it done before it starts getting really cold. It usually gets really cold around the end of January, early February. And I want it done by that point. The other thing I haven't really touched in a while, but I really need to get going on because it's actually a order that I'm getting paid for, is I don't think I've talked to you guys about it. But if I haven't, this is the air show I go to. I volunteer and work at a little gift shop, and I thought it'd be a great idea to knit some washcloths that have like airplane on it. I'm not doing any color work, but it's like where it's stocking net, and then I do for the airplane is like pearl bumps, and so they it's a textured airplane. So anyway, so I have 30 to make. I've made 1.5, if not even that, because this one I just need to pull it back and redo the whole thing. I was working on this while in the car riding home, mom shopping, and I got off somewhere and I tried to fix it while we were in the car, and it just looks kind of funky. Cotton's not very forgiving. I have 30 to make, and I do want to be able to send. Technically, I have like 199 days until this air show, but I want to get them to her a few months before the air show actually starts. That way, she has them on hand. So, my original thought was do 30 weeks out and just do one a week, but I'm already, because of this. Oh, and my Christmas knitting, I was really focused on that because that was, obviously more time constraints than this. So I might have to do like 2 week, maybe 3 week. So I'm hoping to get this one totally done today. But this is it. And this is actually the perfect color for, although it's blowing out a little bit on the screen. It's more of a mustard than a highlighter yellow. More of a gold. Anyway, the shop's colors are gold and like a blue. Not really a navy blue. More like a jean blue. But anyway, but you can see it kind of, I had to tink it down, rip it down and bring it back up, and it's just not forgiving. You can see that it's really gappy right there. And since these are being sold, which I know once I go to use it the first time, it's going to fix itself. But since these are being sold, they need to look really nice. And so I'm just going to rip it. It'd probably be just best to rip it completely down. I'll see if I can rip it down to the beginning of the wings. And it's such a stiff yarn that maybe it'll hold, and I can pick up those stitches real quick. Maybe get that done, maybe get another one done. I just know it's hard on the hands, and so I don't want to, do a whole bunch at once. I've done that past Christmases. I did some orders of washcloths, and oh my god. This is just peaches and cream. I have like a whole tub full of peaches and cream, and there's like a couple other brand names of just the cotton washcloth dishy stuff. But anyway, so I feel like I've already paid for those, and so that what I'm going to be making off of these is like complete profit, which is not, because obviously I've had to pay for these before, but I mean I've had these for years. So I'm actually destashing. And right after I decided to do this, I was at like Dollar General, and for a while there, Dollar General, at least the ones near me, had some yarn, and it was just a dishy yarn and a couple little like knitting needles, and a really, really small section over in their craft and school supply. And anyway, they had yarn. Well, I guess they discontinued it. Probably I'm the only one that bought any. And I didn't buy that much. But anyway, they had a couple of those things of their brand, or whatever brand it was, on sale. And I think it was like the yellowish gold. And I was like, perfect timing. And so I did buy some more. But literally I got them. They used to be $1 each back when I bought them. But because of inflation, which kudos to me, I bought them before inflation. I think they're like $2.50 now. That's ridiculous. Oh, inflation. Ugh. But anyway, I think I got those for less than $1. So, bingo. Okay, so that is it for actual like knitting projects. My coffee's getting cold. Ooh. Now, I like iced coffee, but that's different. Okay, my mom did amazing for Christmas knitting gifts. I got some really cute knitting gift ideas from her that are knitting related, and I wanted to share those with you. I don't know. In no particular order. she made me and a couple of my other friends that knit, and we have breakfast every Sunday, these like jars. She took a candlestick holder, glued on an empty jar, filled the jar with my scrap yarn, by the way. She'd asked for my scrap yarn and I had no idea what she was doing with it. Got some knitting needles, broke them, and filed them so they could be smaller. And then put a doorknob on the lid. Isn't this cute? One of my friends is trying to get her to make more and then sell them at a craft fair. Isn't that cute? I've got a new shelf above my TV, and it's been holiday stuff up there right, for now. And in fact, really today I should bring down my Christmas stuff, but I just haven't had the energy. I did do some spring cleaning yesterday, so I did do something. And the day before, I did something the day before too. But anyway, so this is going up on that shelf right above the TV, so I can look at it every day if I get to sit on the couch. Sometimes I don't. The other thing she got me, and I don't know what these things are called, these little like, I think they're actually for sewing back in the day, and I have another one my friend gave me, a whole size, a regular size one. But my mom found this little, like, I guess a craft caddy, I guess you can call it that way. And she put some of my scrap yarn in there as well. So that sits in here, my yarn room, where my dogs can't chew it up. I just love it. Isn't it cute? And then the other thing, knitting related, that she got me was a yarn puzzle. I meant to work on it last night and I just didn't want to get up. But it looks like she's like, it looks like your wall of yarn. I'm like, you know what? It does. But it's pretty much like a rainbow wall of yarn. And I have definitely started it. I've mostly gotten, oh, you can't really see it. This yellow band is actually on this side. Here, this poster. I'm kind of mad that it's crinkled here. It came out of the box like that. It looks like this. So the yellow's on this side. I've mostly gotten all the yellow done. I think I'm missing a couple pieces up here. And then there's like 2 bands of green, and I'm a quarter of the way through. I'm like, here, I'm looking at the puzzle over here. So I'm working here. But what I did is, my mom said I was a cheater, but I don't think I am. What I did is, when I was separating, I always grab the border first. And then usually how I do a puzzle is I'll pick a section. Like the first one is grab all the borders and sift through them and pull all those out. And then once I get that done, then I grab like a section of whatever picture, if it's a color, or if it's a landscape, if it's a mountain, or these trees or whatever, and then I'll go back through and pull all those out and do that part. And then, I keep going back and forth, and I use the box for that. I don't know how everybody else does puzzles, but that's how I do them. This time, while I was pulling out all of the border pieces, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and separate all of the colors. Now, it's not 100% perfect. Some of the colors, it's hard to tell when they're, small little pieces. But, so, it's not perfect. And I was like, I'm going to separate them out. And then I was like, okay, what can I use? Ziplocs, or I've used mugs. Actually, I've used this particular mug before. And then I look over and I have these like tins from tea, like a tea, a variety I'd gotten a couple of years ago. And they're colored. The green. So this was the yellow. It's empty. Cause I've poured them all out. This is the green. That's the one I'm working on, so it's empty. And then there's like a light blue. So they're in here. And then the darker blue, I put them in this. It is a dark blue, but it's a navy blue. It almost looks black sometimes, but it's actually a dark blue. Then like the purpley color. Oh, here, this is here. There we go. It's in here. I think there's some pinks in here, but I'll get to, when I get to that, I'll get that. And then the red and pink for the end. So I've already had them all separated. So once I get one color section done, I just grab the next 10. There are some missing, like I said. There are some, especially since like, if you look, like here in the green, there is some like yellow, you know, and there's some blue within the green, and so it's not perfect. So I'm still having to work at it, but it is making it a lot nicer and easier. I worked on it for one night so far, and my plan is, like, and that's why I should have worked on it last night, is when my hands and stuff can't handle any more knitting, do the puzzle instead. But I just was watching a show on YouTube, and I didn't want to look away, and you kind of have to look away when you're doing a puzzle. Not when you're knitting, not always when you're knitting, but so that's my puzzle. And I am gonna like I'm gonna glue it and even frame it and hang it up in this room somewhere. I haven't figured that out yet. Probably over there. Because what I have on the wall over there is not really knitting related. It's cute, but it's not knitting related, so I'm probably gonna take that down and put it there. Okay. I think that is it for knitting. So if that's all you want to hear about, you can sign off now, and I'm just going to talk briefly about my life. Kind of do a little update on that, especially since it's been a while. It's not going to be very long, but if you don't want to hear that, go ahead and sign off. Bye, guys. And once again, hello to the people that wanted to stay. It is a new year. I really like the New Year celebration. I know some people love it. Me, Actually, that's when I feel those. I'm going to knit while we talk. While I talk. I mean, you could be talking at the screen. I have no idea. I'm not doing the New Year's resolution. I usually do a knitting one, and I never keep to it, so I'm not doing it. This weekend I've been a little on the sad side from that dog. I feel so bad that we had to put her down, so I just haven't been in the mood. Last night I started feeling a little bit cheerful. I was scared that I was going to go into one of my depressions, and I was like, no, don't do that. I don't want to do that, but sometimes you can't help it. But anyway, I'm hoping to do a lot more knitting. Of course I'm going to do a lot more knitting, or at least do knitting. Always knitting. I'm hoping to do a lot more hiking. I had slacked off after summer and really want to get back into it. So now of course it's just kind of cold, and who wants to do that? I kind of thought about doing it today, but it's supposed to get to the high of 40s, which is just a little on the cold side, and it's supposed to rain, and I kind of just feel like staying inside and knitting, and I really need to take down my Christmas decorations instead, and yada yada yada. So maybe this weekend. I think this weekend's supposed to get a little bit nicer. I like 60 while hiking. 60-degree weather while hiking is nice. Anyway, I'm reading. Don't increase. The Winds of War by. Oh my God. War. What's his first name? Seriously, Melissa? Last name is W-O-U-K. Woke? Something woke. Oh my gosh, I can't remember his first name, the author's name. Anyway, I'm reading that. I have read it, and it's sequeled in the past, and just decided I wanted to read it again. It is quite a book. The first one's over 1,000 pages long, and I'm on page like 170 something or other. Got a long way to go. I have the problem where I start a book and oh my gosh, that's all I want to do for the first like day or so, and I'm like, oh my God, put everything else away, don't touch anything else. I want to just read, and then that feeling kind of just goes away, and I end up just picking up my phone and not wanting to read as much, and it kind of discouraging, which is why I always start a lot of books and then never finish them. It's one of the reasons. What's his first name? Not Andy. You're thinking of Andy Weir. And it's not Stan Nicholas. That's the audiobook you're listening to. Oh, that's gonna drive me nuts. What else? I'm not really listening to an audiobook. I just said I was, but I'm not really enjoying it. It is a book called Orcs. I've read it before, and I really enjoyed reading it, but I'm not really enjoying listening to the audiobook. I think I'm just not in the mood for that type of story. I'm finding myself really distracted, and if my brain is distracted, listening to audiobooks is really hard. And then the other thing I have is the narrator, who I absolutely love. The narrator, he narrates a lot of, and I don't know his name, he narrates a lot of Ken Follett books. I call him Hans Zimmer, but that's a composer. Favorite composer, by the way. So when I'm listening to this, I'm having trouble because his voices for the characters are the same as some of the other books, that I've listened to with him, and I'm having trouble with that because my brain is telling me that it's that book, and it's that character, but it's not. It's a completely different, he does a really great job and I love it, but I'm really struggling with that. So I don't know. There's nothing wrong with the book. There's nothing wrong with the narration. It's me. I'm the problem. And I think it's more of that I'm just not. There's times where I just don't want to listen to an audiobook. And I've been in an audiobook slump lately. And a lot of that has to do with me not driving as much as I used to. I used to drive like crazy. I used to drive like 45 minutes to work one way. And now I don't. And so it's such a short commute that I just listen to music. And I'm like, okay, I also used to listen to the audiobook while like doing yard work. Well, it's winter now, and so I don't really not doing much yard work, or whatever. So what else? I of course wrote down a whole list of things to talk to you about. I do not have the list with me. It's out in the kitchen. School starts in about 2 weeks, and I'm on my last semester. I have one more class, and then I graduate. Yay! And then I can do more knitting, right? So I'm looking forward to that. Just getting it finished. Oh! So Selma with Little Big Knits, she does a word of the year every year. And I have decided to do that as well. And my word of the year is just going to be a simple finish. And not like finish people like the culture, but to finish doing things, to end them, to complete them. Mostly because I want to finish college. I would like to finish a lot of my knitting projects. I am not claiming that I'm going to finish all of my whips. We're just not even going to say that. I feel like I do have less whips now than I usually do. I at least have less than I'm currently working on, because I'm only currently working on one-ish, two. But I'm hoping to finish more. Finish more sweaters, finish that puzzle, whatever. Finish setting up and getting ready, the garden wall. The wall is up, but I need to finish decorating it and getting stuff planted in, but that's a spring thing. But I have all year. And so that is my word of the year, is finish, just to get things finished. What else is on that list? Oh my goodness. I don't remember. I put so many things on there, but I'm probably going to go ahead and let you guys go because I can't think of anything else that's on that list. Oh, yesterday I took down all my teacups off my shelving, which probably, I don't know if I really talked to you guys about that. I have these shelves of teacups, and that's how I decorate my kitchen. And my mom gave me some new teacups, and I've gotten some new ones recently, the last couple months, and they've just been piling up and not finding, I don't have room and this and that, and the shelves and the teacups I wasn't really using were very dusty. It was gross. And I was like, you know what, we need a whole new reset. So I took down all the teacups, and I washed them all, and then I laid them out on my, like, I have these little like stands for them. I put them all on my kitchen table. It filled the kitchen table. And then I have an actual like wood shelf thing that sits above my refrigerator against the wall, and I put teacups there. It is not, the shelves are not tall enough for the little like metal stands, and so those teacups are just sitting in there. So those did not end up on the kitchen table. Those were just in my drying rack because I cleaned them. And so, but yes, I have more teacups than can fit on my kitchen table. I kind of like briefly counted them, and I have like 3 sets of teacups as well, or it's more than like 6 or 8. And one of them even has like matching teapot and stuff. I've got one in the curio cabinet. I've got the Asian one that's got the matching teapot and sugar and cream. And then I've got another one that is just on its own little shelving thing. So anyway, roughly, because I was pretty rough with my counting, I got up to like 96 teacups. And technically I have I have more than that because I have 2 for Christmas. Did not include those. I've got one that someone made a candle out of, and then I've got a bunch of small little ones that are mostly just, they're like shot glass teacups. And I have like 6 of those. I did not count those. And then I actually have some small teacups in saucers that are Christmas ornaments. We don't count those. So yeah, about 100. About 100 teacups. So if you ever are thirsty and want a cup of tea, you can come to my house, and I'll even let you choose which teacup you want, and we can sit down and have a cup of tea. If any of you guys are from the Sit and Knit Facebook page and been following along with this advent calendar, you saw that every day, there was a couple coffee mugs in there, but every day I had a new teacup, and obviously that was only 25 minus I think there's like 1 or 2 coffee mugs in that. There to separate. Ooh, put the bees on. And yeah, someone even commented, she's like, I love that you have a new teacup every day. And I was like, oh honey, this is not even close to how many teacups I have. I have a lot more than those. But after that moment, I was like, okay, I gotta make sure I use a new one every day. And so I actually started going down to like the shelving to make sure I didn't repeat myself. And I don't think I did. I think I did a good job. I hope she enjoyed that. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave it at that because I'm going to separate for sleeves. God, these sleeves seem so big. Hopefully it fits. But anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that and see you guys next time. I'm gonna try to get better. I'm sorry that it's been so long, but yeah, I had a couple of short ones. I'm currently trying to post the Christmas present video. I'm waiting for it to upload for you guys. Because I finally was able to hand all those out, and so I can finally post them. So I know it's after Christmas, sorry, but ideas for next Christmas or for yourself, whichever, or birthdays or whatever. I hope they enjoyed them. I wore mine. It hasn't been very cold until like the last 2 days, and I just haven't left my house here. So I haven't really been able to wear them. Our cold season doesn't really start until a few weeks from now. I did wear them when we were driving around looking at Christmas lights, and I enjoyed them very much, but to each his own. But I'm hoping everybody else likes them, that got some. Alright, talk to you guys later. Bye!